CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A day after President Biden's trips to Tel Aviv, Israeli airstrikes are pounding Gaza, including areas in the south deemed safe zones. Correspondent MTS Tayab has our top story.
Over the past 24 hours, 678 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes, mostly women and children, including at the northern Jabalia refugee camp, as rescuers desperately try to pull the youngest survivors from under the rubble.
Doctors say at least 12 people have been killed in an airstrike on a residential building in southern Khan Yunis. Egyptian humanitarian groups say they're waiting for the go-ahead from Israel to begin deliveries of humanitarian supplies to Gaza, agreed to during meetings with President Biden yesterday. Mr. Biden's back at the White House, where he will deliver a primetime speech to the nation tonight on his trip to Israel. Middle East analyst Dan Raviv.
It's emotional for him, and he plans to link it with aid to Ukraine. The administration is going to ask Congress to approve maybe even $100 billion for Israel and Ukraine, so that Republicans who are reluctant to help Ukraine are not reluctant to help Israel, and maybe they'll have to swallow the whole package.
2 weeks and still no speaker in the House of Representatives. Republicans will hold a third vote on Jim Jordan's bid, a day after he lost the support of 2 more members of his own party. The GOP's Mike Lawler says it's time to make way for an interim leader.
There is not consensus, clearly, on who the next speaker should be. And so in the immediate, we need to get back to work. We need to allow Patrick McHenry to do the job as Speaker Pro Tem with the authority to govern.
The number of people who signed up for unemployment benefits last week dropped to its lowest level in 8 months. Still, economists are worried the tides have turned because layoffs have been rising. Scotland is bracing for dangerous weather.
Some event has been making its presence felt.
The weather reports warning of risk to human life.
The Metro got its highest level of warning, the red warning for heavy rain.
High winds and heavy rain expected to cause severe flooding and deadly conditions on Scottish roads for 2 days. People in the worst affected areas warned to stay at home. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London. Engineers at UC San Diego say they've created an experimental vaccine that could prevent lung cancer from spreading. CBS's Michael George.
Doctors say the vaccine doesn't eliminate tumors, but rather prevents new tumors from forming and spreading. It's only been tested on mice, and more safety studies are needed before human trials can begin.
S&P futures up 7. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 64 degrees outside.